I don't want to tell you about the movie I watched last night because I feel like I have nothing really to say about it, although it was fucking...
What weird movie story negging are you doing right now? Like, you know what?
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah, okay. Here, I'll just tell you. I watched a movie. It's available on Amazon Prime. It's an old movie from '93 called Nemesis.
Okay.
It is very much Blade Runner inspired. William Gibson. Everybody's wearing clip-on sunglasses in the movie.
Cool.
There's a lot to like about the movie. It stars a professional kickboxer turned actor,
cool,
like Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he does show his butt in it, like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Has an appearance of a young Tom Jane. You get to see his butt as well.
Is this like a Mr. Skin review? I like it a lot.
Yeah, this is Mr. Skin. Yeah, I'll give you the time codes. But it's such a funny movie because it's not the plot is just nonsensical. Like a quarter through the film, I think the filmmakers thought, I don't know what this means, but like let's give a bunch of these Sega Genesis looking bad guys giant guns and let's just have them shoot at each other.
Cool.
And because everybody's a cyborg in this movie, just like bullets are just like they're just exchanging bullets until they like their torso explodes.
Oh, they're all made of metal, so the bullets just can bounce off of them.
Yeah, but there's an incredible few sequences in this movie. It's really worth watching. It's really bad, but it's a lot of fun. There's a lot to like. Mm-hmm. But there is an incredible fight on a muddy, wacky slide from like a carnival that like just keeps going and going and going. And there's like a gun exchange. There's like a firefight in a hotel room that just goes on for like 2 minutes, like just an insane amount of bullets being exchanged. It's super funny. And then our hero shoots like a hole through the ground. And like he falls through like several flights of.
But he shoots like a circle, like a Roger Rabbit cartoon. Like shoots a circle around himself and falls. I love that. Cool.
It's so fucking incredibly ridiculous. Yeah, check it out, Nemesis.
It spawned 4 sequels, Dom. So I'm thinking it's pretty good.
So I heard. I heard Nemesis 3 is mostly comprised of leftover footage from Nemesis 2.
That actually sounds like the best movie in some weird way.
Yeah.
I really want to watch a sequel.
Well, I read it inspired Resident Evil Nemesis, actually. Like that whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Because like Nemesis
makes sense.
And Resident Evil also has a really nice butt. So like that's kind of the creative inspiration.
It was mostly butt inspiration, yes.
Well, the bad guy in the whole film is the commissioner of the LAPD, and he is a cyborg. And he is unstoppable, and he has a shotgun, and he shoots the shotgun like over buildings and they land like war missiles near our hero. It's crazy.
Okay,
it's super fun.
Cool. That's cool. I'm just thinking, you were talking about this overly long shootout, and Dom, I was just recently out there with you, and I watched a movie called
I
Thinner.
was in the middle of an LA shootout, and I just
middle of an
LA shootout.
My god, we just got done. Like we all had an edible. We watched. I think Revenge of the Ninja, which is an amazing movie.
It was awesome.
But then like we were all packing up, getting ready for bed, and Paul's like, I'm still awake. I'm gonna stay up, and I'm like, cleaning up, about to get ready for bed, and I walk past the TV and Thinner is on. And
I was
like,
God, is that why you kept talking about Thinner? Okay.
Yeah, I watched Thinner while I was at Dom's house.
And he watched the whole thing. He stayed up and watched the whole thing, and I'm like laying in bed, and I hear like, oh, like people yelling, and then like a crash, and I was like, did the
blowjob
manslaughter blowjob, the blowjob manslaughter just happen?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with a blowjob manslaughter and Thinner.
The entire premise of the movie hinges on it, Chad. If you didn't know,
I thought it was about a gypsy curse turning you thinner.
It is, and the reason it happens is because our quote unquote hero of the movie. There's no good characters in the movie. Everyone's a shithead. It's not a good movie, Chad. Everyone's a shithead, and our hero, quote unquote, is getting a blowjob from his wife for some reason on the road. And he's having
for some reason
when you're married and you love each other, Paul, you give each other roadhead all the time. It's a thing.
He's a terrible husband. He does not deserve a road blowjob. He doesn't deserve it, and he gets it anyway. and then he hits an old lady who turns out to be a gypsy, and her husband sees it and knows that he was getting a blowjob during it and was enjoying killing his wife. And
disclaimer, the term gypsy that you're using is the term the film uses.
I don't agree with this. The movie's terribly racist.
I am calling out the film trope that for 3 or 4 decades was completely okay of a random magical gypsy that is just got powers.
Yes, the whole group of gypsies that run this carnival that's in town have magic powers, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into the whole plot of Thinner, which I know all of because I watched the whole thing.
Well, you do have to say that he gets cursed and starts losing weight.
Yes, he gets cursed with thinner. He rubs his cheek and makes him thinner.
Is it like? Oh, go ahead.
Well, the whole premise is he wants to lose weight. He's gluttonous. He loves eating food, and he wants to lose weight. And then he starts to lose weight after he gets thinner, and he thinks it's great because he can eat whatever he wants, and he's getting thinner. And then he realizes that he's going to die because he's losing weight at a crazy, an unsustainable amount of time, of weight over time. And he eventually figures out that the quote-unquote gypsies did this to him. And I was telling Dom, and this is the movie Nemesis made me think of this, because the early 90s, there was a point where action movies became the thing, and they didn't realize that they thought like you could just fire guns incessantly, and it equated to excitement in movies in the early 90s. There's a shootout in Thinner, a movie that does not need a shootout in it whatsoever.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
The man who's been thinnered, who has been cursed, hires an Italian mobster in this small Maine town that he lives in, and the Italian mobster starts shooting at the quote unquote gypsies, and then they all pull guns out for some reason.
They're all armed.
They're all armed. For racist reasons.
This carnival is strapped with ammo.
They go nuts, and there's like a 10-minute shootout. There was a point I was watching it late at night, and everybody else was asleep, and I had to turn the TV down because an insane shootout just started happening in the middle of this movie. And that's the 90s.
I mean, not to take anything away from the Coen brothers, but they are also guilty of it in Miller's Crossing.
Yeah.
In the middle of Miller's Crossing, there is a insane shootout that happens. That's led by Sam Raimi. That does not serve the plot whatsoever.
It's just like... I'm telling you, in the 90s, there was just like this like gun frenzy that happened.
I guess I just want to clarify. We're acting as if random gun shootouts are bad.
They're
and
fun.
I just think any movie could benefit from a random gun shootout. Like name
Absolutely.
one that wouldn't. I
Babe Pig in the City. No.
Gravity.
I imagine Juno.
I always come back to
great.
Gravity. Everybody's favorite forgotten film.
Gravity.
Babe Pig in the City? No. Big in my hearts. Listen, the inspiration for Babe Pig in the City led to Mad Max Fury Road. A lot of stuff from that director.
You're right. You're fucking right.
Right?
You're right.
You know what that was, Chad? That movie, the Mad Max Fury Road, was his vision of Babe Pig in the City with the gun shootout in it.
That they wouldn't let him have.
We can't give this pig a gun. Why not?
Give this pig a gun. Welcome to Goosebuds.
Yeah, welcome to Goosebuds. Let me also.
I don't know if you know I don't know if you know the Aerosmith song that they never got to release, which is "Porgy's Got a Gun," and that was a song that was held back by the censors in the early 90s.
While we're talking about movies, I just want to share because it'd be a natural way to bring up why my voice sounds like burnt toast. I came back from a bachelor party in San Diego.
Congratulations on surviving it.
Thank you. Well, it's pretty tame. Just a bunch of 30-something dudes, all just.
Chad,
what?
I think at this age, Chad, any bachelor party that any of us survives is a feat worthy of being proud of.
I was up past 1 a.m. and it was very tough. It was very rough.
It's hard. It's a hard thing to live through.
But I'm yelling for about 24 hours straight because it's that thing where like dudes yelling just hits a fervor where that's the new default volume for conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's just say when 5 boys get together, the rowdy commences.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It gets rowdy.
Well, actually, a group of more than 4 or 5 boys is called a rowdy. It's like a murder of crows.
Yes, you're right.
Oh, a rowdy of boys.
A rowdy of boys.
Boys are coming this way. But I wanted to share based on movies. For whatever reason, in our choice of Airbnbs to rent out for a bachelor party in San Diego, the rowdy chose a Wolf of Wall Street themed bachelor pad.
Wow.
That I just gotta say, I can't fucking stand Wolf of Wall Street. I know everyone loves it. It's a terrible movie.
Okay, that's fair.
With absolutely no downsides to any characters. It's like, hey, remember in Casino or Goodfellas? What if they didn't learn a lesson about being bad guys? What if nothing bad happened? It's just a fantasy. Anyway,
it's like if Thinner happened and Thinner just got thinner and was happy at the end of it.
Yeah, he's hashtag inspiration, guys. I love it.
Skeleton.
Also, here's just a bunch of random scenes of Margot Robbie nude for no reason. It has nothing to do with the context of the movie. So it's this 7-bedroom penthouse. It's also one of those it looks fancy, but everything is falling apart. Which is also maybe a good metaphor for Wolf of Wall Street. But imagine a place with all the walls just painted with random quotes from the movie and Leonardo DiCaprio's face everywhere surrounded by walls.
It really was themed by Wolf?
No, it was literally a Wolf of Wall Street part. Yeah,
I thought you meant
wow.
Wow, okay.
No, my bedroom wall
because I also thought that.
My bedroom wall had giant quotes of, was this all legal? Absolutely not. And then just our kitchen had Leonardo DiCaprio's face looking down on us, and there's one of that scene where he tries to have sex with Margot Robbie, and she's like, no, and that was painted on a wall. It was so weird.
Ew! What the fuck?
I do not approve of this. I can't believe people actually watched that movie and took that. Wow, and took that as this is good.
Yeah,
wow.
So the weirdest...
I mean, I can totally believe that part.
Oh. I mean, it's a very bro dude movie.
The fact that this room was available and that it was also rented, I'm just kind of like, oh.
It seemed very popular. It seemed a very popular place.
Wow.
But the weird part is knowing all that. After we rented it, we were told from the owners that absolutely no bachelor parties or birthday parties allowed in this apartment. This is just for other.
They didn't figure out that your rowdy was doing it for a bachelor party?
Well, even beforehand, they're just this is only just for other groups, or we just fine, sure, we're memorializing our dead frat brother.
Gotcha.
In there and that, but if you make a Wolf of Wall Street penthouse, that is only exclusively going to be used to murder women in, and have really bad bro parties in.
Yes, absolutely.
And then
terrifying.
Also I'm happy to hear that you survived it, Chad.
Thank you. Also, I'd like to think my theory is that the owners of these Airbnbs, they just pick different Jonah Hill movies to have rooms based off of. That's their thing. They just own
there's a Moneyball room.
Oh yeah, there's a Moneyball room for sure. There's definitely a what's that movie when he's in college? Okay, I can't remember. The reference is now gone out of my head.
Superbad?
Yeah, sure, Superbad. I was thinking about the one with Justin Long. But yeah, there's a Superbad room. There's get him to the Greek type.
Oh my god, the Justin Long one. That's the fucking. It's the follow-up to Freaks. Not the follow-up to Freaks and Geeks, but it's similar, right?
It's the one where it's don't go to college. No, not that one. There's one where Justin Long and Blake Lively and the guy we're just talking about. My brain is fried.
I'm finding it. It's called Accepted.
Accepted. The whole movie is about don't go to college, you fucking sheep. That's the entire movie.
That's where they make their own college. That movie is funny. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to say it's funny.
There's some good jokes in it, but I imagine a penthouse built around Accepted.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah,
I like it. I'd go to that.
My apologies for my voice ahead of time for being like this. Is all I'm saying.
Listen,
hey, that's okay. I mean, to be honest, Chad, I don't know if there's much to say about the book that we read for today's episode of Goosebuds, chosen by our patrons at patreon.com/goosebuds if you want to get in there and vote. Just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, we're letting...
Shout out to all the patrons, okay?
We're letting our patrons guide us through the remaining 30 or so books of Goosebumps, the original series.
Yeah, and we threw up there, what did we throw up? Calling all creeps.
Mm-hmm.
Say cheese and die again. There was another one.
Whatever one was next in the line.
Ghost Camp.
Yeah, Ghost Camp I threw up.
Ghost Camp. And then the one that was chosen
is
Egg Monsters from Mars.
I just gotta ask this: Is this book half the length of normal Goosebump book?
I'm looking right now. I can see the page count. No, Chad. Oddly enough, this one
there were some short chapters. There were a few short chapters in this book, rightfully so, because next to nothing happens. No, and I've got a bone. I've got a bone or two to pick here. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to lay it out there. I'm just going to do the synopsis first.
Sure,
okay?
yeah.
This is what happens in Egg Monsters from Mars.
Can I just say that
it
it starts with an egg orgy.
An egg orgy.
An egg fight orgy. For like the whole first chapter is just kids having an egg goddamn orgy with each other.
When you said that for a second, I was like, I don't remember the eggs fucking. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. I
see. Yes. So we open up. We have our hero. His name is Dana. He likes science. He studied a toenail of his. He's very scientific minded. He loves science. He's got a sister, Brandy. She wants an egg hunt for her birthday. They have it. In the egg hunt, he finds down by the creek a large egg with a very hard shell with veins that is pulsating. I really like this part of the book where like the description of the egg is interesting with veins and it's pulsating. Great. He puts the egg in his balled up sock drawer. Not sure what that's about.
Wait, do you not ball up your socks?
Well, I don't ball them up.
Do you fold your socks, Dom?
No, I pair them.
Sure.
And look, we're not. I don't want to get distracted.
Fans
here. I just
want to
get
know
to
about Dom's socks. Okay, but go ahead.
Talk about your socks.
Not allowed. Not allowed. Actually, I did tweet about my socks recently with photos. I have Gangnam style socks that I got at the dollar store.
Those are great socks.
But I thank you. So he puts the egg in his sock drawer. The egg hatches. He tries to show everyone the egg. It's like the cover, thick yolky goop with eyes. He puts it in a shoebox. He tries to show his parents. They don't care. He tries to show his neighbor. They don't care. So he goes, I got to take this somewhere. He takes it to the lab.
The local science lab.
Yeah. Every kid knows where the local lab is.
He passes it on his way to school. Takes it to the science lab, and it's closed. Oh, no. But however, there's Dr. Gray there who manages the lab or something. I can't remember. But he is interested in what Dana has. He brings him in. He looks in the box. He sees the egg monster. He says that it is from Mars. He says that he thought he collected all of the eggs that shot to Earth in a Martian storm that happened on Mars. There was a storm on Mars, and eggs shot down to Earth.
Yeah, I didn't really get
and
that.
He said
he meteors, right? Like, does he mean meteors, not eggs?
Well, they're eggs. They're meteors, but they are eggs, right?
I guess that's true.
Anyway,
I guess.
Let's not get distracted here. Like, we're almost done talking about the books, right?
we're ready to wrap this one up.
He goes, yes, look in this room. I thought they all landed only in this town, and I've collected all these egg monsters. Here they are. And he shows them. They're in this freezer type room, and they make shapes. They circle around the doctor and Dana. He describes that they make other shapes. That's not really ever explained why, but Dr. Gray then reveals that Dana is not allowed to leave the lab because he's touched the egg. He's been exposed to it. Also, he knows that it's from Mars, and that if Dana gets out, he might cause hysteria by saying that we've been invaded by Mars.
Yes.
So the rest of this book is Dana sitting in this freezer with these egg monsters, and he's trying to get out. He's shouting for help. His parents come by. He's shouting for help for his parents to come into this freezer and find him. They don't. And then finally, Dr. Gray goes, hey, by the way, I'm coming back into the freezer. Dana seizes his moment. He bolts out the door. He runs all the way home. He tells his parents about the egg monsters. They go back to the lab. They're not there. They go home. It's the next day, and it's over.
Yep.
He's on his way to his friend's house, his next door neighbor's house, and the final sentence of the book is that he sees an egg on the ground. That's it. That is all that happens in this book.
What are you guys talking about? That's not just the end of it.
Did something else happen?
You guys missed the craziest part of the ending.
Yeah,
the craziest part of the ending is that he doesn't see an egg on the ground, Dom. He hunches over and shits out an egg.
He shits the egg out. He lays an egg, Dom.
Wait, hold on a second. What?
Oh yeah, dude. He births an egg.
He births an egg. I'm bringing.
It comes out of his dick hole and everything. Okay, wait.
I crouched down on the grass and I laid the biggest egg you ever saw.
And
Final sentence of the book.
Yeah, that's it. And it comes out of nowhere. It's like one paragraph total covering the entire idea of it. There's no like, oh, my tummy was rumbling and I felt really sick. It's literally just like, it was a pretty good day. And then I just shit an egg.
Oh my God. I completely missed that because I was so annoyed with this book. And I can talk about how I was annoyed with this book. And then I got a bone to pick with RL. But I completely just read over that.
Dude.
Wow, he shit out an egg.
I made my final note of my notes for this reading was the ending. RL laid the biggest egg of all this book. That's my note.
Damn.
Okay. Wait, I want to call out a few minor details in the overall summary because Dom, you're right. That is pretty much
yes. I wanted to give a broad summary here because those are the major things that happen. But let's get to the details.
Yeah, we need to go through the stupidity that happened in this story. There was a fair amount.
I think there's something, or at least I want to point out that for the first part of the book, when my hopes hadn't been completely dashed, I'm like, wow, this boy is he's kind of following through and he's being smart. He found an alien egg. He tries to show his parents. His parents are just gone randomly because they're out probably doing swinger shit. And he's like, well, I'll go to the lab. I'll go to a scientist. It's the thing that no kid ever does in these books of like, I'm going to talk to the authorities. I'm going to get some eyes on
an expert. Right. Yeah, totally.
I'm growing hair uncontrollably all over my body. Better not talk to a doctor. Better just keep this hidden and buried. So I really appreciated that part. It's weird that the gray doctor was just immediately like, well, I'm not allowed to go out anywhere. I also must be quarantined. But I'll have a meeting with this random boy who wants to come by. Even if he didn't have an egg monster, he's now trapped that boy with him even before the discovery. Like,
and that was really creeping me out about this book. There is a straight up abduction by an adult with a mustache.
Did he say he had a mustache? Was that a detail?
That was a detail. He had a mustache. He touched it a few times.
Yeah, creepily.
As someone with a mustache, I can say we're not all creeps who abduct children.
That's the stereotype that people with mustaches are going to have to fight for a long time.
Dom, you're taking it back. You're taking the mustache back.
I'm taking it back from the gross people. But he freaking abducts this kid. And a large portion of this book is just Dana having been abducted.
At least half of this book is him being abducted.
Which is frustrating because, I'm down with a pulsating egg that hatches and then there's yolk monsters inside with eyes.
Yeah.
It's a shame that the boy is abducted by a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's have the aliens come down. Let's heighten the idea of aliens coming to Earth.
Well, the problem is that the bad in this book is not the egg monster from Mars. It's the.
In fact, they're nice.
They're very nice.
They make. He's freezing in this freezer, and the egg monsters form an egg.
Yeah, I want to bring that out, which I think is whether RL meant it or not. I think that's a cool detail. By the way, I also think this book was incredibly dumb. So I'm not defending it all the time. There's something about
no.
Okay. Oh yeah, the egg monsters. I've noticed that if they're in normal room temperature, they melt. I was like, I guess because Mars is cold. I guess that's why. Like they're not. Like they are not. It's
they're
not
sensitive,
an invasion. Yeah, they are not an invasion force. It seems like they are the equivalent of like sea turtles that due to a tsunami got washed up on shore away from the ocean or something. Like, they don't want to be there. They are the good guys of this story, and just a creepy old man is the villain.
It's got a very Gremlins vibe to it. Early on when he finds the egg, it's a weird egg. He's taking care of it, and it's born, and the creature's weird but kind of cute at the same time. Yeah, it's got like they're kind of nice little creatures, but then they have to add a bad end, and it's the science. Science is the bad guy, right?
Science is once again the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean I couldn't help but think that this film borrows a little from Invaders from Mars.
I've never seen it.
Which is a film. It's a wacky film where a kid discovers that Martians are invading Earth and taking over the town in invasion of the body snatchers type kind of way where they, just take over people who are already existing in the town.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a shame. I think it's a missed opportunity to have this kid who's pretty smart get abducted by a scientist.
It's a shame because, as you said, Chad, he finally does a smart thing that a protagonist in these books should do, right? And instead of being rewarded for being proactive, we then stick, like you said, Dom, this smart kid into a cold, refrigerated room for half of the book where he just complains about being cold and nothing happens.
Well, let me ask you, guys think the boy was supposed to die? Would the boy have died in the freezer? Did the eggs save his life by turning into a blanket, or are they just nice?
No, I think they saved his life. I think like the little cute one that he had found. Yeah. They chitter like chimps, I believe they say in the book, and they communicate to one another, and they make a conscious decision to cover the boy, not his head, but the rest of his body, as a blanket to keep him warm. That's what I took away from that moment.
I subscribe to that. That also means the scientist is, again, even more dumb, because after that happens, the scientist comes in and he's like, you let the eggs touch you? You let them merge into a blanket thing that I can't tell if they're stuck that way or not now? I'm really upset about it. You've ruined my work. I guess now I have to kill you. And it's like, wasn't that already the plan? Or
right.
Like, didn't you know that he touched them already? Like, didn't that happen?
So was he just going to
come in and was like, hey, I touched this and I found this? And he's like, okay.
Yeah, I think he was just going to like keep Dana alive and study him there. I mean, I guess that's also terrifying. It's not much better.
I guess that's implied.
Well, so I had a couple problems early on in this book, and I just want to loop back before we finish up with it. So first off, that was a really long egg fight. And who has ever had an egg fight in their life?
Well,
that's right. There wasn't time to boil the eggs or paint them for Brandy's party.
I think that's the thing that's the craziest part. I wanted to mention that too. It's not just an egg fight. It's an egg hunt. Not on Easter. Never heard of this happening. But whatever. Never. Kids are weird. Sometimes kids want to be princesses. I get it. Fine. Yeah. Totally.
One kid discovers the eggs are raw, and then a full-on egg fight orgy breaks out.
My point is, who doesn't fucking boil the eggs? What crazy parents are just like, random raw eggs just placed around our yard? What are you doing?
The other half of that is that the prize for collecting the most eggs was an American Girl doll.
Oh, yeah. What a great prize.
And that upset the boys. The boys started to wrestle. Once they heard that it was an American Girl doll, they began to say, let's wrestle with each other.
You can't invite a rowdy of boys over, give them raw eggs, and tell them that there's no good prize for them because they will go nuts. The rowdy will go wild.
Do not tell me that there's no rowdy prize. Okay, I'm not going to play nice.
You do know there was one boy who was like, actually, American Girl doll sounds pretty good, but I can't say anything because the other boys are already all mad. I guess I'll have an egg fight.
Yeah, he was getting into the rowdy mindset. The rowdy hive mind took over.
I would kind of love to 18th century Jessica, but fine, whatever. Let's have an egg fight.
Steampunk Jessica was really exciting to him, but he wasn't. He couldn't get past the rowdy hive mind.
There is another licensed... Well, there's Battle Chess. Battle Chess is mentioned toward the end of the book.
Yeah.
There's another licensed item that was brought up, which is, I guess, standards and practices just were like, you can say anything now. It's no problem. You don't have to hide it. However, there's a part in toward the end of the book where he's in the freezer and he gets goosebumps.
Oh,
and Goosebumps is hyphenated.
Oh my God, I didn't even see that, Dom. Good eye.
Wait, what? Yeah. I completely missed that. What?
Yes, he gets goosebumps. He just gets goosebumps on his skin.
I think he got a book for a gift or something. Okay.
No, I wish, but it was hyphenated, and I found that to be interesting. I was like, okay, all right.
Maybe RL wants to differentiate that is a very different thing, and he's going to change how grammar works just for his branding.
Yeah,
just not to confuse
the universe. Another odd thing I found, Dom, you made note of the balled up sock drawer.
Yes.
So we know that RL uses repetitive phrasing in order to pad these books out and to make them take longer. He asks a lot of questions, rhetorical questions. He'll make them just sit there and say the same thing and like drop 2 new lines and have like one word things just to kind of pad it out, right? Well, during the egg yolk scene, multiple times the imagery of the birthing is mentioned about how the yolk is spreading into his socks. And like you said, Dom, there's an odd imagery going on here with this yolk spreading into the socks. It's gross.
Yeah, I think that RL. RL has a masterclass. Are you guys familiar with the masterclass?
Yes.
The new platform where you can watch actors, directors, writers, all types of people talk about their craft and how they approach it.
It's the new TED Talks, right? Well, it's basically what that is.
It's TED Talks you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Elias, he lives in a van, and he's a friend of mine, and he sent me some videos. I just wanted to add that he lives in a van because I find that interesting.
I love that you added that detail.
It seems pretty cool. He seems to like it. Elias sent me some videos of RL's masterclass, and in the videos, RL explicitly states that he likes to write for 7 to 12-year-olds because at 13, kids discover
boobs,
sex,
yeah,
and girls and boys discover boobs, and all bets are off, and they don't want to read anything else. And I take issue with that approach to writing because that means that you are intentionally writing for an audience who you think is dumb, and maybe that's a mean way to put it.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that RL's approach to his writing and these books is that these are for kids who don't know any better. And so I just have to write enough words. And then when I find something interesting, I'll meander in it in a little bit. So like with this example with the goop going into socks, I guess he was into that, and he just stayed on that for a little bit.
He liked that image. That image was like a whole chapter long.
Here.
Because if you look at the rest of the book, nothing happens.
No.
It is so much internal monologue of like, is it this? Is it that? What is this? What is that? Do I go there? Do I go there? Where do I go? And it's like, make a choice. Have things heighten.
RL likes
the
to
story
wander,
get more intense.
RL likes to just go outside, and he wanders into the story lake, and he just kind of like, and he takes his boots off before he does, so he just kind of like, it's like catfishing. He's just kind of what's that called where you step around on shells with your feet, and you're just like,
where you're trying to pull, you stick your arm out, right? And
arm in your feet. There's another where you just walk around barefoot. You just feel noodling, and there's another one where you just walk with your bare feet and your feet. No, but your feet and you feel stuff, right? Is that also noodling? And you're just like, oh, I feel a little bite on my toe. I guess there's something down there. Like that's what
it might not be noodling, but it's all noodling to me.
That is something I've never heard
That's
of.
That's a thing. I'm gonna find it later.
It's real, Dom. It's real.
No, noodling's real.
I believe it's real, but it's very.
It's a way to find like oysters or something. I swear, but. Like RL's just doing that story wise. He's like, I'm just gonna wander down there and just kind of see where the story takes me. And can you imagine eggs getting in your socks? I guess that'd be scary, or maybe just being real cold. God, I hate being cold. I was cold last night when I was trying to go to sleep. I'm just gonna write about that for a little bit.
This is really it. I mean, this stream of consciousness that Chad is having impromptu is exactly how I think RL put together most of these books,
especially this one. This one's great. There, beyond the sock thing, and we'll get back to the lab very soon. I have 2 more notes before you get back to the lab. There's 2 points where he tries to go to the parents, which is what we've always talked about, right? The parents never listen to the kids. And I love that he literally brings the alien life into the room with his parents. Both his parents are there. He's got the alien creature alive. And his parents' reaction, his dad makes fun of him. His dad just fucking busts on him multiple times, like fucking hard. So hard that his mom has to yell at his dad. And that's why they stop paying attention to him, is because they get in a fight because his dad was fucking busting on him.
This is true. I recall the mother interjecting that it was mean because he told him to sit on the egg. He told him to sit on the egg. Why don't you go sit on it? Because I guess they were so upset about eggs. So the egg fight happened, and then they went to dinner with the grandparents, and they told the egg story, and the grandparents were like, ha ha ha, how funny. And then they all had a laugh. And then they get home, and Dana's like, by the way, I have this egg. And the parents are just like, we've had enough of the egg talk. We talked about eggs enough. And the dad just busts on him. And the dad just busts
on him. And then he takes the egg over to Anne's house, and Anne's having breakfast. eggs, of course. And he brings the egg in, which is alive at this point, and outside of the egg, and it's making its
and hatched.
It's making chirpy noises, and he drops it onto the plate by accident where Anne's eating, and then Anne's mom picks it up, tries to throw it down the garbage disposal. Fucking Dana unwisely reaches into the garbage disposal and grabs this creature out before it can be killed. And then the mom, seeing the living creature, isn't concerned about the fact that there's an alien in her house. It's just that her floor is going to get messy, and shoos them out of the house and onwards into their journey.
What is the neighbor's name again? Ashley? Anne. Anne is eating eggs. It's such a fucking stupid scene because they're eating scrambled eggs, and she's sitting there eating eggs. And she goes, "Wow, these eggs are really good. I think I want some more." And then her mom's like, "I think I'll make an egg for myself." And then Dana comes in and he's like, "Oh no, your sheepdog hit my leg, and I'll drop this egg monster on your plate." And Anne's reaction is, rotten eggs. She just yells rotten eggs. I can't fucking stand this book. It's so goddamn stupid.
It's so dumb. And then
Paul told me, like the other day we were talking and Paul was like, "Oh, did you read the book yet?" And I said, no, I read it right before we record. And then Paul said, "Oh, you're going to hate this one." And he was right.
It's very bad. This is one of the worst ones.
It's weird that the sister that loves I kept wanting to be like, listen, his Dana's sister, what was her name?
Brandy. Yeah.
Brandy. Brandy is a bit special. She loves eggs. She wants to have an egg party in the middle of the goddamn summer.
Egg theme party, yeah.
Yeah, egg theme party. And then I thought that would pay off in some better way of like, I'm trying to keep my alien egg a secret, and then Brandy finds it and fucking eats it. Or like,
right.
That girl's crazy about eggs. She just eats them all, or whatever.
Right.
That detail's completely related. It's just so that he goes out and finds an egg, I guess.
Yes, Brandy was purely a plot device to get him to find an egg out in their backyard, and then she disappears.
Yes. And she's gone for the rest of the book, and it's unfortunate. There's a moment where he wakes up and he's got the egg monster and mom and dad are gone, and they're just gone. And it's like, okay, being somebody who thinks about story, I'm sure you guys do this the same. I'm sure everybody kind of does this. You make a guess as to what could happen next. You're like, oh, it could, you just start to think. You start to use your imagination. And it's like, okay, you wake up with this egg monster and everyone's missing.
Yeah.
Why not just have the rest of the book occur over the evening? Although he does wake up in the morning and they're gone. Let's just say he wakes up in the middle of the night and they're gone. Because that's how I read it, because I was speed reading. I was just, that's how it read to me initially. Why not have him wake up in the middle of the night, everyone's gone, there's some kind of abduction or something's going on, but the rest of the book happens in that one night as things keep escalating and escalating with this egg monster, with Martians, with saucers, flying saucers.
Yeah, have the egg parents come back for the egg kid.
Sure, I mean, you could even keep the kidnapping scientist if you really wanted to. Like, you could still do that.
Make aliens show up to bust them out. Make it be cool and crazy.
They're not it's frustrating because not only was there an invasion, but the monsters are coming too. They're growing and they can form things. They can come together and form things. That's illustrated later in the book in the freezer. Yeah. Why not have something interesting happen with all that rather than an adult say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can't leave. We're going to have to study it."
Or also,
there's nothing interesting.
Or also, I just want to call it they take the form of stuff in that they make a blanket and then they make a blanket again. It's just kind of, that's.
They just keep blanketing. Yeah.
It's really, I agree with you. I think they're supposed to be able to make other things, but it's just, it's like the Wonder Twins where it's always just form of a pail of water. It's just that kind of bullshit. That's all. Yeah, that's what you turned into. And because we missed the detail, by the way, that I don't know if we actually full on addressed that the minor vengeance is supposed to be that when the Dr. Gray is like, oh, you're going to stay, I'm going to kill you now, or I'm going to turn it down so cold to be colder than a freezer. And my immediate response was like, I already assumed it was colder than a freezer. Oh, but okay, sure.
Right. Yeah, because he was like dying.
Yeah, he was dying. I thought he did. Maybe this kid was just complaining. The egg monster blanket rolls up and just smothers him. I thought we were going to maybe like hear him die. The kid runs out as like these eggs are voring him basically. And then like
voring the doctor.
Yeah, sorry. The eggs are voring the doctor. Like, oh, so you got his comeuppance. And it's that moment, to go off what you're talking about, Dom, where like when he brings the parents back, the lab is like, it read as if the lab was not just without the doctor and the egg, but like all the devices were gone, which is also weird. Like, okay, so he got away. It'd be so much scarier if it was like we found a goddamn skeleton. Like,
he should have had like an item, right? That was like his thing, like a pack of like not cigarettes, but like a pack of gum.
Oh,
or something like
sure.
That. And they find like the thing that was like his signifier, his mustache was laying there.
They come back and they're there, but they've formed around the doctor in a new giant egg. Something terrifying is going to hatch out of it. I don't know, like just make it actual spooky stuff. Like,
right?
What? Yeah, fucking something. Like they even surround, even like in the same moment when they surround Dana, I thought, oh, well, maybe they'll form, like, because he's a humanoid, they'll form, like, this giant egg body, and he'll be able to, like, cut through doors with, like, his sword arm or something.
That's Resident Evil's fucking, I love it.
That's some Nemesis shit right there.
That's some Nemesis shit. That's what I'm talking about. But I thought that something would happen there. But RL used, I don't even know if he used the first idea. I think he used the first half of an idea. He was like, what could they form into? Blanket, okay. Like you didn't look at that again and say, could this be more interesting? Could this be more exciting? Could it be more fun? A blanket.
It's that whole sequence.
RL was tired and he wanted to go to sleep, so he wrote a blanket.
Right. It's just ridiculous because it's like there's just so much stupidity in that part too. Like the fucking like Dana's like, I have to think of a way to get out of here, and he goes, I have an idea. Chapter break. What's his great idea going to be? Oh, I just thought that maybe if there was a phone, I could call my parents, but there's no phone. My idea won't work. You could have thought of, like, their idea could have been like, if I have a key, I could get out. That's the same. That's as good of an idea as,
or I'll act like I'm dead, so the doctor comes in to get the body, and then I stab him in the neck with a biro, like, or whatever.
That's a way better idea, that he had. His idea was, what if I escape? That was his idea.
Can I call it a moment that I would just call it a moment in regards to that I think is like supposed to be tension, but it's the moment where while he's freezing or complaining about freezing, and the dad comes, he hears
when his dad comes.
His dad comes by.
Oh my God.
And he hears the conversation in Doctor, which should be scary. This is done in really good thrillers of like, you're powerless to tell the person who's right there who could help you. Like, I'm here, Dad. And like, he yells and screams. And then Dr. Gray comes in later after he tells the dad that the boy never came by and he's never heard of anything. Also, by the way, if I'm a dad, I'm not believing any random old man. I'm like, let me see around the lab. Like, let me double check. But
the best
just,
part is
Oh,
go ahead. Sorry, Chad.
I was going to say, like, the part that I'm rambling, but the part that I think sticks out to me is, so Gray comes back in and he's like, yeah, my lab is soundproof. You only were able to hear him because of our sound system. Like,
yes, yeah.
What? Like, it's not even a lab. It's not looking like the more obvious thing to do would be, oh, there's security cameras and Dana can see via one of the security cameras where he's trapped that his dad's there talking to him. Oh my God, I wish he's going to help me. But instead there's this weird like, no, the doctor also installed like a surround sound system to listen to jams or maybe to record podcasts. It's just like a detail of like RL doesn't even think about the logical way to get this beat.
Right. For some reason, you would want the subjects in the room that they're being contained in to be able to hear you, but you not to be able to hear the subjects? What the fuck is the point of that?
What the?
I guess for instructions like,
I'm going to try talking to the eggs. I'm going to try talking to them now.
But I don't want them. I do not want to hear what they have to say. I don't want to hear it.
No, soundproof. I'm not interested.
Let me
I just want to torture the eggs.
Let me pitch another possible cool way for you to do another cool teaser, like have them come back and everyone's gone, but now you look back at the security footage and you're like they're fast forwarding through the tapes because that's what you always can do, and they see the eggs have taken the form of a man and are wearing Dr. Gray's
in
clothes
the shape of Dr. Gray.
Dr. Gray,
great.
and they're leaving, and they left, and you don't know where they are, and you're like, oh,
that's cool.
Yeah, right. It's something.
But well, that would be great. That's like a great idea. Like he says, I thought I got all the eggs, but I guess I missed this little one. This one's cute. So it's implied that this is a young egg.
Right.
Okay, well, you have all the eggs together. Do they form anything? Like,
just
your mind
blanket.
Automatically goes to that. It's like, okay, well, now that they're all together, they can make their full Martian. Like,
right.
There's so many different ways. Anyone at home or in your car or at work, wherever you're listening to this, I know that you have at least 10 more exciting ideas than a blanket.
Please give us your exciting ideas of what the thing could become.
It's frustrating. There's also a slot where he receives mac and cheese.
And he hates mac and cheese, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't buy this.
And then he complains about it. He complains about the mac and cheese. And like he tries to complain to Dr. Gray about it. But there's a slot. There is a slot that can open.
Yeah.
These monsters are goop monsters.
Right.
They can get through anything. It's slime. It could get through a slot.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the slot is closed, it would seep through.
Right.
Never attempted.
No.
Never attempted.
No. What I love about
also, if you go somewhere and you're like, was my son here? And the person goes, no, your son's not here. I mean, you can check outside for his bike. He's not here. That means your son is inside.
Yeah, that's Dom. That's what I was going to get to. Because Chad, you brought that up. The dad is like being fed the line that his son was never there. Okay, this guy's lying to you. But then the guy goes, "Well, do you want to check?" And the dad's like, I'll take your word for it. I'm good.
I'm good. I don't care about him that much anyway. Honestly, having one less kid would be so nice.
Yeah, my other kid's really shitty. She's into eggs. I'm scared about what her future has in store for her.
We got 2 kids. I do really like the one, but I do really like roasting the other. So okay, I'll take your word.
Yeah, we're good. We're good here.
It's frustrating. It's my big beef with all of this is, when you have an expectation of your audience and you write to that, you're not going to write anything exciting, especially if the expectation of your audience is like, just stupid kids.
Right.
Because that's what it seems like he's writing for, just in comparison, and not to roast RL here over this. But J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter, yes, they came out like a couple years after each other, so the audience was able to grow with the book.
Yeah.
But even the first book, The Sorcerer's Stone, like even that has more exciting, more. It's a book that kids can read, and they might not understand everything, but they get the big picture.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing too overly complicated in it. And that's my beef with this, is that I think that RL is thinking of children, thinking that they're, children, and he's writing just like run around nonsense.
Right.
And I tried to read a couple of these books as a kid. And as you know, if you listen to this podcast, if this is your first episode, welcome to the RL Hate Show.
It's a lot. It is. We want him to do better. We want him to.
Him to do better. As a kid, I wanted him to do better. I abandoned reading a few of these books when I tried, as you may know, because they were fucking boring.
Yeah. We've talked about ones that we liked. There have been ones that we've liked.
Yes.
And
that's what's frustrating is that he's capable. He's capable of it.
Well, I mean, I still subscribe to the theory that sometimes other people wrote these. I still subscribe to that.
I agree. And I heard a little rumor that there was a lawsuit about the writing of these books at some point.
Wait, is this something you feel confident to bring up, or should we do a little research and then we'll do like a full...
I think we got to do a little more research, but I've heard the scuttlebutt that there might have been a little bit of a lawsuit.
Interesting. That's also a good tease for us to do some further research. I think it's like, you know what it is, Dom?
Now's your time to step forward.
Yeah,
if you've been listening to this podcast because you were involved in the lawsuit and you really hate RL and this is therapeutic for you, it's time to come forward.
Or RL, if you want to come forward and address these claims on the podcast, we'd love to have you.
We have an open chair and an open mic. We'll make this thing a rowdy for you, RL. Get in here.
I think what you're getting at, Dom, comparing it to like Rowling and stuff, is it's even just basic stuff that kids will pick up even if they don't know it. Like the ideas of foreshadowing and paying things off, even if kids aren't aware of that stuff and they're not like meta thinking about where an arc goes, they'll appreciate, oh, if a girl loves eating eggs in the first part of the book, maybe she should eat the egg monsters at the end. Like, you know,
at the end, that would be great.
Like some sort of thing like that.
He gets out, he rescues his egg Martian that he's birthed, that he's the father of, and then his sister eats it at the end. She's gonna have some weird alien stuff happen to her, right?
Yeah, whatever, sure. But it's like it's set up and payoff. It's just general storytelling.
Yeah.
Deeply upsetting.
I'll say this. Somehow, though, this book didn't have that issue that so many other ones do where it's meandering, but it didn't feel like they're just padding chapters. Like, it's a terrible book that's boring. At least that's why I asked you when this was recorded, like, let me say that again. So I got to ask you guys at the beginning, I was like, does this book just feel like it was 60 pages long? I mean, it was miserable.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing is that it goes on. It is very linear, but there are chapters where nothing happens.
Yes.
Where he just goes roundabout, like, I found out a way to get out. And the very next chapter begins. Oh, wait, my idea doesn't work. I can't get to a phone.
Yeah.
I hate this book.
It feels like a man had a deadline in a weekend and he had to hit it.
Yes, exactly.
It really does. It's unfortunate. And
this one's a real rotten egg, guys.
I had a blast reading it because of how weird it. I enjoy no matter what that these later books, as bad as they are at least they're becoming like a different type of horror book, and that's what I remember more. Like they're not even scary anymore. They're just kind of like wacky tales of interest.
Right, yes. It's just weird. And
which is like his direct inspiration for the series is EC Comics. And they did that. They had weird fantasy, which was in line with Tales from the Crypt. And even Tales from the Crypt or Vault of Horror, all those stories, or all those publications, they all had stories of just like funny horror or strange horror or weird fantasy. It's in line with what inspired him to do
I think what we're going to do, Dom, is and Paul, is we're going to save up and maybe invest on a shared masterclass for us to listen to.
I think you're right.
Should we review the masterclass?
I think we might need to. I mean, we're going to have to save up. It's like $90 for it or something. That's...
Oh, I can't afford that masterclass.
I think we all huddle by one computer and watch one masterclass. I just want to...
I guess we're just going to have to not get better at writing, guys.
I just want to hear the argument. And listen, these books would have gotten really weird. But if this part that you bring up, and by the way, that I love that your friend who lives in a van, it's not out of monetary concern because he can spend $90 on an R.L. Stine masterclass. It is...
Well, he just full disclosure, he did not pay for the masterclass. He had access.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, all right. Either way, I think it's interesting the beat you bring up of R.L. going, well, at some point, kids just get interested in boobies, and that's all they want to concern about.
Yes.
Why didn't these books just get fucking weirdly sexual? Like, why didn't these? Why?
But they do get weirdly sexual because, like, as we said, like RL will be writing and then he'll trip into a weirdly sexual moment and then he'll meander there for a little bit and then he'll go on without even knowing it.
I guess I just mean like, why isn't he writing these like bad penthouse 13-year-old teen novels like? And then the girl, and then Susie.
I mean,
he
has that writing experience. We know he has that writing experience.
What are you referencing?
He wrote smut. He wrote.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about that.
In old pornographic magazines, they would have a pictorial like series of, the undressing, the situation, the undressing, the sex, and it would be accompanied by copy that would say, Biff was a hard ass construction.
A hard ass with a hard ass.
Yes, absolutely.
A hard ass with a hard ass, yes. And he wrote those.
I would throw this out there. Yep. Maybe sometime we read some RL smut.
I'm down. I'm 100% game.
I'm 100%. If we can get him to tell us which issues he contributed to, I wonder which, because, the magazines, pornographic magazines, really go deep into niche fetishes, So I'd be really interested to see what porn he was writing for.
Yeah, also, I wonder if we could just tell based on like his general storytelling sensibilities of halfway through the story is like, this girl was ready for Bonetown.
Was she ready for Bonetown? Was I ready for Bonetown? Could we handle going to Bonetown?
Chapter break, I decided I was not yet ready for Bonetown. I'm going to wait a little bit. Like, just like that kind of weird dramatic tension.
I covered her in a blanket.
I kept her warm. That got me real hot.
He was about to come. Dave thought he was about to come. It was going to happen any second. Whoops, it was just the fire alarm.
Whoops, it was just pee. It was just pee.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, how many bumps you give this? How many eggs?
I'm giving this 10 rotten eggs, which is the most rotten eggs, which is bad.
Okay, 10 rotten eggs from Paul. Chad.
I'm going to say out of a dozen rotten eggs, eggs, but you want more eggs, I think. I'm giving this a 3 out of 12 eggs.
Wow.
3 out of 12 eggs.
Get some points for trying a weird thing. And for going to the authorities. I love that. And then nothing happened. So I needed some more eggs in my life.
3 out of 12 eggs, 1 out of 4 eggs if we just,
Or on the Paul scale, I guess this is 9 out of 12.
Mine's on rotten eggs. Rotten eggs.
I'm going to give it one old big goose egg, okay? That's
Whoa,
what I got.
one old goose egg?
Yeah, one goose egg. One big goose egg.
The one he shat out at the end.
One fat zero.
Yeah, he pooped it out. Did they say did they say he pooped it out? Or did they say that
it came out of his ass?
Yeah, he said he fucking shit it out. And what a like, you're like, okay, what weird could happen at the end of this book? Oh, I guess he could lay an egg. Boom.
But he didn't even eat an egg. They
guys.
just touched him. So they laid eggs in him at some point.
That means the Martians fucked him.
Oh no, the Martians fucked him while he was sleeping.
That means the Martians fucked him. I think we are drawing a huge conclusion that is way more interesting than anything that happens in this book.
Wow.
Okay. Well, what do we say, guys? We gave it our best. We read the whole thing. We talked about it. And now it's up to our patrons to choose the next book that we're going to read. I say we got to keep calling all creeps on that poll.
Of course. Calling all creeps
Chad?
is now the incumbent runner somehow. It just keeps going.
Because we watched, I believe we watched the television episode, did we?
Yeah, we're going to have to revisit it because it's been so long, but I'm excited to talk about it.
The television episode is incredible, and that's all I'll say.
We say this knowing we're not going to be able to read this for 6 months. It's just not going to come up.
Who knows?
You don't think people are going to vote for it? I think it might have came.
I'm trying not to sway the vote. I'm trying to I think we're teasing it well, but I don't want to sway it too hard.
Okay, yeah, let's not sway it. Okay, it's not incredible. It's interesting.
Okay.
You know what? Don't vote for it. Reverse psychology.
We'll definitely have Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes on there, right?
Sure.
Okay, Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. Or wait, is that the sequel? Is there a first one?
No, because that's the next one in series order for us. That's the next book.
It sure sounds like that would be the next one, or the sequel.
It does, yeah, it does.
How about How I Learned to Fly? Why don't we throw that out there?
That's great.
Okay, and what's the fourth
and
one?
we have Ghost Camp in there because I want to keep. I think the camp books
All right, let's
have been
keep
good.
Ghost Camp. Yeah, let's give everyone the opportunity to continue the series in numerical.
Okay,
order.
sure. If you hate this chaos, you can reestablish order. It's like Twitch plays Pokemon. You can vote for either anarchy or diplomacy. It's
right. Let's see what the universe chooses.
Sure, that sounds great, guys. I think this has been a solid episode to read with you guys for sure.
Yes, this was.
I think so. I think it's we all went through this together, like Vietnam. We'll be brothers, rowdy brothers forever.
Rowdy boys. Our rowdy will stick together.
Let's wrap this up, guys. What do we have going on in our lives? Anything you guys want to share?
I just have to jump at this opportunity because I drew a Sonic illustration that people enjoyed. And, I've got some t-shirts made of that Sonic illustration, and I've got one for you. You've already purchased
mine.
It. Thank you so much for supporting. It's yours. It's in my closet. It's yours when I see you.
It's a hilarious t-shirt.
Do you want to describe it,
It's a drawing of Sonic, and, it's a drawing of Sonic, and Sonic is saying, Baron, it's me, Sonic. Listen, you have to convince your father that climate change is real. And yeah, you can get that on my website, comfyjunior.com. I also have a new set of Paperback Paradise postcards that I think are pretty good.
And you got bookmarks.
I made some bookmarks. I made a bookmark that says, "How's my reading?" Call 1-800-KISS-MY-ASS.
That's a great one.
And then I have another bookmark that says, "Step back. This book is protected by the Second Amendment." Check them out on comfyjunior.com. Go ahead. ComfyJR.
The First Amendment protected by its big brother, the Second Amendment.
The Second Amendment. Hey, you're not going to let my friend speak? Well, I'm going to blow your ass away. Nemesis style. Nemesis thinner style. Chad, what do you got going on?
A bunch of episodes of Unikitty that I wrote a long time ago are finally coming out. The entire month of February is just like, let's just drop a bunch of Unikitty episodes.
Did I see an election-inspired episode?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't actually even got to watch the final episode of that, how that turned out yet. I'm really excited. There's like 20-ish Unikitty episodes dropping in the next couple weeks. And there's a bunch of great ones. I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I got to have a lot of fun friends come on the show and write them with me, and I think you should check them out. They're on whatever streaming service has them. If you want to get out.
Well, they air on Cartoon Network,
yes,
right?
I just assume no one has cable anymore. Yeah, they air on Cartoon Network.
That's true.
Usually there's 1 or 2 new ones a day. Yeah.
I think you can you can use the Cartoon Network app or something if you have cable or your parents have cable and you can watch them.
Yeah, there's also a tablet app. I think that's even easier to watch them on. There's clips on YouTube. I mean,
it's just clips on YouTube.
You can find other ways to watch them if you really want to. But
you should watch it where the money is.
Daily Motion.
But they're all pretty good. I would say check those out if you enjoy a very silly show for kids that had a lot of love put into it.
Absolutely.
Paul, what about you? What you got going on?
Me, I got nothing going on. I ain't doing shit.
That's a lie.
No,
that's a goddamn lie.
We got a lot going on, but we got Continue. Continue's still going. There's been some great episodes on Continue Show. YouTube.com/Continue Show. I just
want to say, Continue had an incredible series about Godzilla on the Godzilla game that we all played.
Yeah.
Go watch the Godzilla episode. It really made me lol. Just gonna say that.
I think that
I just also want to say that no, this is no dig to you guys, but Continue is kind of the best it's ever been right now. I think it's super funny.
I really think that the past year or two we've had we started a Patreon for Continue, similar to how we have a Patreon for this show. And in doing the Patreon, it has allowed us to say fuck it to YouTube algorithms. And now we do whatever the fuck we want. And I think it's made the show better.
I've been loving it. I think you guys are in the middle of a continue-sance, if you will.
Continue-sance, yeah.
Yes. So
the editing is incredible. The editing is so good.
We hired an editor, Brian Nappy. Again, another thing that the Patreon made possible. And I think that Brian's outside eye, he creates moments that I don't think any of us would think of because we're connected and too close to it. His little bit of distance has really, really made it shine. Brian's incredible.
That's great. Well,
that's great. Also, you do a show called Pretend Friends,
yes.
And I'm going to do a quick sidebar, and I'm going to continue the promotion. But you do a show called Pretend Friends with our friend Kevin Cole, who's listening to this right now because he's editing.
Hi, Kevin.
And hi, Kevin. Hello. Kevin runs Pretend Friends, which is his RPG that he's created.
Yes, his game system.
And you and I were having a conversation. We floated this idea.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm going to introduce it to Chad as we introduce it to the audience. Just going to float this out there. I'm just lobbing it. If somebody catches it, great. What if Kevin ran a Goosebumps RPG with us playing ourselves?
What if we played ourselves?
I'm sorry, what?
Chad, what if we played ourselves? And what if the characters were each of us and we had to make stats based on our actual real life attributes?
Okay.
And then Kevin made a short one-shot where we got sucked into a Goosebumps book of his design.
Are you guys describing my dream? Is this like a birthday Christmas all in one? This sounds amazing.
It sounds great.
It's going to be like Goosebumps the movie starring Chad and his friends Dom and Paul.
No, it's starring all three of us. It's a group ensemble for sure.
It's a rowdy for sure.
Surprise, Kevin. That's an idea we had.
If you really like the idea, turn up the audio on that part. But you do Pretend Friends with Kevin, and funny enough, we hit 500 reviews.
We hit 500
on iTunes. We fucking did it. Thank you guys so much. What a wonderful feat. That is incredible. 500 reviews. Thank you. We're going to read a couple of them soon. But oddly,
something happened. I was looking at the reviews of Goosebuds, but then I went and looked at the Pretend Friends reviews, which if you want to leave a review on Pretend Friends, do that as well. Someone left a Goosebuds review on Pretend Friends. I'm going to read it because somehow it got it got put over there, and I want to make sure that it gets the notice that it deserves so it doesn't get lost on that page. It's from H808, longtime listener. First time caller, an old callback to a continue cast review line that we'd love to have people get to us. Paul, Dom, and Chad are quite the characters when it comes to critiquing the books of many of our childhoods. While some installments of Goosebumps are complete stinkers, the hosts make quick work in breaking those books down for consumable content great for a car ride or a weekend day off work. Keeping up with the many projects of these creators has always led me to funny moments over the years and has me looking forward to further supporting their endeavors. Much love from a longtime fan, and here's to many more years of laughter. What a nice review. Thank you for leaving it. It's funny that it's on Pretend Friends. We'll accept it anywhere. We love it.
That's right. We're at 500, not at 501 because that's the current. We're at 502 spiritually. Thank you.
Hot damn.
Yes.
Chad, do you want to pick one to read?
Yeah, sure. I'll read this one from Dan H, a.k.a. Droman Sage Arrow. And he says, R.L. Stine's Love Child Podcast, 5 stars. If you're looking for a great podcast about Goosebump books, then search no more. You found it. If you're also looking for a podcast that is equally hilarious as it is entertaining, then you've also found that perfect podcast. Dom, Paul, and Chad are 3 great friends talking about books that are almost as bad as the Canadian acting in the TV series. Yet these fellows know how to make them into digestible and hilarious books to listen to and enjoy, while at the same time making tasteful 9/11 jokes, I might add. I have been listening... Tasteful. I have been listening to these guys for a while now, and I just have to say to them, thank you. Thanks for the great stories, captivating conversations, and of course, the great laughs I've had with you guys over the years. Also, if you're looking for some other cool stuff, check out Tales from the Tavern or the great stuff at comfyjunior.com. Wow,
what a sweet
solid plug.
Thank you
Dan.
so much.
That's a real nice one. It's just nice to hear, and like the one that we just got from H808. It's nice to hear that people have been listening for a long time and that they're still into it. We love you guys.
We haven't chased them away yet. That's very nice.
No, we have not.
You know, I want to read two reviews.
Yes,
I'll make them quick.
Yeah.
This one I just have to read because it reminded me of something we said on this podcast, and I'm just going to read it.
Is it glomped?
This podcast glomped the heck out of me by Killer Special K. If you don't know what glomp is, it stands for got little old me pretty frequent. Thanks, Dom. See, I'm not sure if I said that. I think you might have said that. Yeah, I think you said that. And it is totally what this podcast may or may not do to you. Either way, Paul, Dom, and Chad are 3 hilarious and charming hosts, and every single show is a spooky trip down memory lane with a classic Goosebumps tale. Give it a listen if you have excellent taste in podcasts and stories written for young adults about puberty issues. Now let that sink in. I do. Thank you so much. Thank you. I was happy to be reminded of Glomp.
I forgot about Glomp.
We have to use the glomp factor next time we read.
We do.
Yeah, I agree. That should be our rating scale. I agree.
Yes. From now on, how glomped it made us. Yes, I think that's a good point.
I have another review here. Fantastic podcast by RJNC. I believe those are 2 zeros following his name. I just moved to a new town because my parents are scientists studying archaeology robotics. I made a new friend, and when we're not listening to Goosebuds, we're trying to figure out the mystery of the chupacabra attacking people in town. It's probably the old man that lives alone in the spooky house. Update, Chad, black jeans, 4230.
Did he get it?
What was it? Let me see this one again. Say that again. Black jeans, 32.
42.
42 or 32?
42.
4230.
Not right. 32 is also not right. I'll help you out there. It's not right.
Yeah, it's definitely too short, without a doubt.
32 is like, I don't even know what height you'd have to be to wear 32s.
I don't know.
I would say
42 is waist.
I would say
he's saying 42 waist, 30
yeah,
length.
I would say closest closest they've gotten, but 30 length is crazy. I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to look at that one.
I gave them too much of a tip with that. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I think they're getting closer. Listen, this is a fun game.
If you're
to play.
not going to get our jeans,
you're
not going to get our jeans.
If you're new to the podcast, just so you know, this game is a game we play where if you can guess the color and size of one of our jeans, we will send you a pair of our jeans.
You know what's fucked up is that if they do it to me and they get it right, I need to buy new jeans. I only have one pair.
Me too. I have very few pairs of jeans.
Yeah, guys, it's time for us to go out and get new jeans for ourselves when this happens.
Good point.
That's a great point. And I think that might be a special place to leave this one off.
Yeah, I think so. Guys, I thank you so much for joining us again. If you want to support the show, besides leaving a review, you can go to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/goosebuds. Is that right? Patreon.com/goosebuds. Why does that sound crazy?
It is.
Let me do that one more time. You can support this show by going to patreon.com/goosebuds. You get access to bonus content like our awesome Discord. You can vote on what books we read. We mentioned that before. And we also do bonus episodes of Camp Goosebuds, which is basically just a less focused podcast and twice as funny, I would say. And you can check those out as well. We appreciate all your love.
Oh, fucking A. We didn't talk about the serious issue that I ran a poll on.
Oh, yes. That's right. The poll.
Should we talk about it? Do we have enough time? Or should we wrap this one up?
Well, I think we should save it. We should talk about it. I think it's a great conversation piece for Camp Goosebuds, actually.
That's actually, that is a great conversation piece for Camp Goosebuds. You're right.
The poll was, you could tell them what the poll is, though.
The poll. I believe I wrote something along the lines of Goosebumps is real. RL's creations have come to life, and it is utter chaos. They are running amok. It is chaos. There is just insanity happening. Monsters everywhere. It's just crazy. Which Goosebud is most likely to accidentally hit an innocent bystander with their car amid the chaos?
And we're going to find out the answer to that on the next Camp Goosebuds. Or if you want to follow us at GoosebuddsPod on Twitter, you can find out for yourself. But the conversation is going to happen on Camp Goosebuds, baby. See you there. See you by the fireside, baby. Guys, thanks so much for being my friends, and I'll see you soon around the campfire.
Thanks for getting glomped with me, guys.
Oh, God.
Don't glomp me too hard. I'm delicate.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. This episode of Goosebuds is brought to you by our beautiful patrons at patreon.com/goosebuds. Thank you to Kill Clinton.
Really scraping the bottom of the barrel with these cat names, guys.
Should be scratching the bottom of the barrel. Hollis Hornbeak.
Stefan Jive Turkey Kuwabara.
Fred Atkins.
Nathan Dolzal.
David Cron.
Chris Birch.
Dapio.
Mickey C.
Michael McDowell.
Clayton C.
Kyla Tharp.
Buddy Morrill.
Mike Lanteri.
Nick Hinkle.
Joshua P. Robertson.
Cameron Murphy Audio.
Daniel Calleas.
Jim Greaves.
John Luke. Jared
Mason.
Martin A. Macias.
Zane Keefe.
Matt Sadler is gonna start selling this space to advertisers. You piece.
Sadler. Matt 2 Pearl Henderson.
Joshua Lopez.
The Rupel Productions.
Jubs.
Christopher Boyce.
Jonas Blatterman.
We do not know. Afshin Mataleb.
Mickle Hearts Corn _
Oh, Danke McSanke.
Bean Father Spookman.
Jennifer Britton.
Stephen Ghost Kisser Daniels.
Victor.
Brandon Rowdenbush.
Aaron T. Strunk.
No cute name, just the Mantis, baby.
Chris Culver.
John Jimco.
Heath Robinson.
Turtle Mansa.
Brian Wells.
Sleepy Boy 69. Those tricks won't work anymore.
They don't work.
Joe, remember to save early and often. Scott.
Paul Grosso.
The Dragon Llama.
Zenticles.
Walter Frazier.
Drew Applegate.
Michael Knight.
Taylor Dirks.
John Keaty.
Kramer.
Aaron watching you sleep, Dom Cole.
Nice, he got you again. Becca McWilliams.
Stealth Bates.
Joseph Miranda.
Alistair Perez.
Scott Colopy.
Robert Moon.
Patrick Reynolds.
S.
Third Sergio.
Jason Crooker.
Vincent Modica.
Luke Noodles.
Zam Bambino, he's a good boy. That's an inside joke between me and him.
Miguel Pardo.
Tammy.
David Lee Backbone, a.k.a. DL Spy.
Nice.
Just a pretty good dog overall.
Christina Doling.
Clay Castle.
Calv.
Cody Redfield.
Matt Bachelor.
Randy Hernandez.
Trendy Moron.
Tyler Penner.
Maddie.
Boyo Boyo.
Ishak Arafin.
Jake Young.
Axel Rock.
Matthew Rieger.
Ryan Melfi.
Heidi Shanks.
Gabe Chavez.
Shifty Swamps.
Reinfected.
Hector Alberto Rivera Ortiz.
I'm too lazy to come up with a clever name, so fuck it.
Damn it.
Jack Frazee.
Divaldi.
Alan Saylor.
Kyle Top Billings.
Oh,
I added top in
nice.
there.
Nice.
I added top.
Sam Z. Hash.
James Roy.
Mikey Jello.
Chosen One.
Gregory D. Warren at your service.
Jin K.
Bradford Coulter, Esquire.
Nathan Remick.
Jonas Eggman.
Rich Hilborn.
Ethan Obama.
Aiden Diaz.
Dylan Vaughn.
Toothless Barry. The Whistler Bostowitz.
Nice whistle you
Well
added.
done.
Thank you.
Well done. Dan Henshaw.
Joshua Jacobwitz.
Andrew Sheriff.
Justin Wagman.
Reed Stubendike.
Matthew Literal.
Cry Bricky.
They took my thumbs.
Cardboard Walk.
The John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation.
Good job. Tommy, the breakfast must flow hoey.
Oh, yeah, we all agree with that.
That's a great one.
Welcome to my Goblin Library.
Yeah.
Yes. Eric LeBaron.
Joey Evans.
Nick V.
Big Bo on the beats.
Rug.
Andre Villanueva.
Up in Champ.
Carewise Gamgee.
Alicia Grafe.
Solezo.
James Hudson.
Anthony Kuwabara.
Malicious Delicious. I added delicious.
Nice. Carl Kleinsasser.
Senpai Gods.
Cameron Hansen.
Brock Graham.
Yanni Marcovina.
Hugh Bolin.
Jake H.
Swaggy Yolo Squire. The swaggiest squire in the Yolo Shire.
Yes.
Very nice. Get slinked. B word. Yeah, I censored. Yeah.
It's gonna keep happening. Frank V.
Elusive Koala.
Eloise Koala.
Eloise Koala.
Lee Wood.
Jessica Zebol.
Paul's Christmas Sock.
I don't know what that's about.
I think that's about getting slinked.
Yeah,
I don't
we
know what
don't.
that's about.
Blake Alvarez.
Generally depressing.
Itono Moore.
Christian Van Skeever.
Samuel Lowell Jackson.
Boney.
Brooke X.
Boss Skeleton.
Corey Shelley.
Yeah.
Joe.
Pallet Town Champ.
Jesus Christ.
And we got some new patrons this month. Low Belly, Hate Me.
Nicholas Butler.
Jeremy Lowe.
Zach Connor.
Daniel Cotta.
And Carter Glass.
Welcome to the Book of Names.
You'll never get out. That's the book closing. Thank you to all of you. Thank you for your support.
We love you.
Is
for
very,
it.
very appreciated.
Is best.
We love you.
Bye.